A Tale of Two Choices by me. Each side of the coin gleamed with a desperate plea for my attention. What I held that day came in the form of a pill, a master of ceremony with a doctorate in disguise. I used this to will the pain, anxieties, and despair into their own well of deprivation, a dank breeding hole I need not fear uncover until the drug faded, and life, once more, became that dread enemy adorned with sharpened hate, encircled with dancing carcasses somehow resembling myself. A premiere of what could be, with an abstract viewing of all that could have been. I stood at this division, watching choice slip away like a tide, while flipping that coin into the silent moonlight, hoping each time it will land on the side which best represents the fate suiting my desire. What were the chances? Heads, a master of my life. No drug would tempt me. I would forego my desire to shortcut through feelings and empty motions, life becoming a driving force for me to spearhead and not only survive bleakly, but to seize triumphantly. I would not captain the tyranny addiction would burn through the field of my life, but command a resolve and peace none but myself, alive and bright, could achieve. One more turning gleam in the moonlight. Would fate this time land on Tales, desire absolute, a broad, burning spectrum of urges not withheld or subdued, completely focused inward on I, the usurper, the villain of my own making, a lie coursing a broad facade of distrust and channeled greed over the map of life, thus forcing myself to become sin's martyr, a smiling effigy of fault and calculated greed, ready to not only start the blaze, but to gladly submerge in its embrace. Drugs would become my gods, and I, a willing sheep. As an addict, I am always seeking the more, a ride comforted on a path decorated. As a human, I am always seeking a way to make more work. Two choices, two lives, heads or tails. Would I have to let one go? As a sinner, I like to lose nothing, neither love nor lust, pride nor humility, tails or heads. Thus, I bade the coin to land on its edge. I did not want everything. I wanted it all. I relinquished nothing, renounced no one. I donned the mask which fooled no one but I. I would have my drugs, but I would manage also. True became my urge for self-warfare, taking positions along all borders, because false was my ability to defend from the war I waged. True were my ways of deceit. I would inject haphazardly and offhandedly, as the beast of my nature willed its covered face over any views and beliefs, because false were intentions once noble, and false were the natures of my spotted hopes, which I spurned and tossed like a rose by another name. I could manage both sides of dread coin, true or false. As said coin teetered to and fro on its edge, I began to shuffle down into self-indulgent comfort, one misdeed at a time, thusly creating my own grave, empty of dreams, love, and the blooming of friendship. Not lonely, but desolate, for I could not even stand myself now as company. I continued to shovel more pieces of spirit from this hole, while squirming down into my own reeking abandon. Over the worms, thriving, still and trapped forever. I could smell the musty, cool solace as I watched the fog on my breath, like moaning ghosts of willpower fleeing in my last remaining moments. The lies, hate, and shame I was once so comfortable with rained down, bearing me into this womb of earthly despair. I may not be over you, but here's goodbye. So goodbye, life, and since understanding is the key to forgiveness, then world, I forgive you. Goodbye, resentments, you cool shades blocking my light. Goodbye, moon, face forever missed. And darkness, the honored guest at my last supper, my ally and friend, my desert bloom, I'll allow you to take me. I breathe you in. I had hit bottom. I had dug into my own grave, free of responsibility, with shame and guilt like nothing I've ever felt. Then, a death grip like a calm precision, a practiced fury, a professional hysteria tore into my flesh above my heart, and I bawled the cry of the damned as I was torn, screaming for my cozy placement, and thrown onto the ground. I stood, and as I wiped shame and dirt from my clothes and conscience, I looked up to the assailant before me, the man who had yanked me from that which I had deemed comfortable. The very same dirt also caked his clothing, face, and a shovel he was carrying. I motioned at the uneven dirt I had so recently rested within. "You better help me now." My stance and voice a boiling cauldron. "Just who do you think you are?" He smiled and casually cast his shovel over his shoulder, and as he ran his eyes over the ground for another fresh grave. "I have helped you," he replied. He held out his right hand. "My name is Anonymous, and I am an addict." The cemetery around us erupted into explosive thunder as 1,000 other voices responded. "Hello, Anonymous," they spoke as one giant voice, a monologue of non-violent fury. I pulled myself back and watched as the shadows around us became people, all of which were going out of their way to pull from the wreckage their fellow addicts. They were equipped with shovels and whispered promises that if we work together, our lives will become, once more, manageable. I had made it to the fellowship. Now I carry my own dirty shovel with my pockets lined with promises and that one single coin. The shovel is to pull others from their own wreckage, while the promises are to give them hope, but the coin I keep for myself. It's stamped with AA on one side and NA on the other, and no matter how many times I flip it, it will never land on its edge. Thank you.